We can reach us every fourth Sunday from 3 to 5 at Holy Cross Samaritan Center, 555 Connor. Or you can reach us on Facebook at FCAA Michigan, or you can email us at fcaa.michigan@gmail.com. Some of our annual events we hold as our annual picnic, where we gather 100 to 150 alumni or current people in the foster care system or of the foster care system. And we also have an annual Thanksgiving dinner every year. This past year is our first one, and we hosted close to 200 people. Being treated differently in the foster care system is kind of harsh. A kid, 10, 11 years old, I think I went into my one of the foster homes when I was like 8 or 9 years old, matter of fact. And you notice when a foster parent, they have good hearts, good intentions, but they forget that you are a regular kid. You want to be loved. You want to be cared for. You want to be treated regularly as if you are their kid. I recall times where, I'm in a foster home, I'm entering into high school age. I have close to the 3-5 while in middle school. I was one of the top students, and my counselors told me, hey, you need to take this assessment test to see if you can get into the 3 top schools, Cass, King, or Renaissance. And she told me I wasn't smart enough to do it. I ended up probably proving that assessment wrong, but things like that. When I was 14 years old, I was in an after-school program called Project Adapt in the city of Detroit. And it was funded by United Way. I met my first mentor, Anthony Rogers, through that program. And actually, he's been with me ever since. He helped me secure jobs when I was a kid. He helped me secure a place to live under the Detroit Urban League's first and only, at the time, independent living program. And during college and after college, what folks don't know, they don't realize once you're in the foster care system, you no longer have attachments to your family. So most foster kids don't have your typical, lifestyle of growing up with grandparents, parents, cousins, or whatnot. That's what's really lost in society. You think you see a kid, but they don't have that type of attachment. So they lose that. Even when it comes to living in dorms. I recall times where I had to rig the alarm system just to stay in a dorm. Just have a place to stay over the holiday break or the winter break. It was illegal at the time, but just a place to stay. But at times, when I couldn't afford to come back to Detroit, I was sneaking the dorms. But at the time I did come back, then I would stay with folks like my mentor. And we are definitely in contact on a daily basis even today. So that's one of the things I advocate for within the foster care system. Always have a mentor readily available for a kid. It can actually help change a kid's life.
The relationship began as I'm the mentor and he's the mentee. As he went on and went away to college, when he came back about several years later, we took on that we became his godparents, because you can't mentor for 6 months. You have to make the commitment. We believe that mentoring is a lifelong connection. And that's why we're sitting here today talking about he. So at that point, he came home once. I think we gave him his first car, a 1984 Volvo. And he drove it back to North Carolina. It was an awesome trip, and he had some struggles, but he made it. And at that point, relationship just grew. We just grew. And today, we're so proud of his accomplishment of graduating from law school, so that he could begin to take on ownership of his own life And he did that based on what he's seen us do, what we all did to help him to get to where he is today. It's a beautiful piece. What a beautiful day it will be when he walks across that stage, because we shared in that. Whenever there was a need, we were there for him. Yeah, like I said, he'd come home, he'd go to Miss Rush, or he'd come home, he'd come to us. And these last several years has been a strong piece for he and I and the families to grow. He's our son. You know, that's the way we look at this. Mentoring is huge if you make the commitment. And Robert Earl, as we call him at home, has grown tremendously, and he's continuing that growth by all the things that he's doing, you know, all the things he's participating in. We love him. We congratulate him. He's done an outstanding job. He's a beautiful human being, well-rounded, cultural. He's awesome now, and we thank God for that growth.
Funny thing is, it's more than one person that impacted my life. Not only did Anthony Rogers impact my life, his wife, Leslie Rogers. And when I was 16, after I left the independent living program, this was before it was funded. Now it's a funded program. It was unfunded when I was coming through, so I had to work 2 jobs, play high school football, and I paid rent, but also I had a roommate. My roommate didn't pay rent. So after a while, living on our own, we had to leave out. And once again, I was homeless. It wasn't until the lady, the director of Project Adapt, she saw what I was trying to do. She saw me struggling. She knew I had the intellectual acumen to survive academically, and she took me in. Her house. So I spent the last year of high school living with her before I went off to college. So it's been quite a few people who's been quite impactful in my life. Like I said before, that actually helped instill a lot of things in me and helped mold me into the person I am today. I'm also a member of the Foster Care Review Board. Now I'm on the advisory council for the Foster Care Review Board. We sit and we're more of a checks and balances between the Department of Human Services, the agency that's hosting the child, the foster parent. We dive into what the kid's schoolwork is like, where he or she wants to be when their tenure in the foster care system is up. And if they are in an independent living program, or if that's part of their permanency goal, we provide resources, you know, collegiate resources, monetary resources, and tell them where they can get all this stuff from. But we serve as a checks and balances. We offer up recommendations to the court on behalf of the kid. It's a time for families to come together more than ever. If you have nieces and nephews, go into their lives, become mentors to them. Currently, I take care of my 15-year-old nephew, have since my second year of law school. No one else is going to do it. You don't want the streets to do it. It's up to you. You have to make those sacrifices in life. And, you know, quite frankly, it's not too much of a sacrifice, because at the same time, they're going to help you grow. You know, I don't have any kids of my own, so right now my nephew is currently my kid. I encourage everybody to go into the lives of their nieces and nephews, or younger siblings, or distant cousins for that matter. Go to your family reunions. Become closer to your family. If you don't have nieces and nephews, then mentor somebody by all means. We all have a place in society, and we can't be selfish and, you know, live our lives self-servingly. We need to become a part of someone else's life. You have a lot of fair-haired youth out there that don't know or aren't guided by anyone, and they become statistics on the street. personally, to take some of the stress off me, I love to draw. I love to do things like drawing. Two of my favorite subject matters was math and science. So to take my mind off a lot of the stress I was enduring, I think I did pour into some of the things I was good at, which was math, science, art. I played, little league football, which I also encourage other kids to do. And it's one of those things like little league football, playing football in high school. You have a sense of normalcy as a kid, growing up regularly. You have teammates, you have coaches that teaches you discipline that you wouldn't have otherwise. Knowing that you're good at something and someone is telling you you're not, now you know that there's a lie somewhere. Somebody don't want you to be something that you want to be. Someone's trying to knock you off your pedestal. I realized that at an early age. Now I can say, okay, I am good enough to do some things in life. Love math and science. Why not going after engineering degree? It falls right in line of what you want to be. Looks like you can do it scholastically, then go ahead and do it. As a young kid, you couldn't tell me that I couldn't be something after I heard those words. So I had younger siblings that needed probably more assistance than I did. I knew I was, a smart kid once again, so I knew I could make some sacrifices to help them survive, better survive, that is. I would definitely advocate for a kid to, get involved with athletics. It builds up your self-esteem. You notice what you're good at. I also advocate for a kid to seek a mentor at a young age, so you can strive to be like somebody, if not better. I really want to be remembered as a regular person. Quite frankly, I think the things I do now is because I was probably set up this way. There's folks in my life that touched me at an early enough age to instill things in me that otherwise would not happen. So currently I do mentor. Currently I'm an advocate for justice, social justice. I'm seeking academic attainment. Everything that they told me to do, it didn't fall on deaf ears. I actually took action and did it. But I guess one of the things I want to be known by is standing up for somebody else other than myself. So mentoring and creating organizations for change or the betterment of a particular system that I happen to experience is something I wouldn't mind being remembered by.